Hello everybody, myself Kulnan Mukherjee. I am the Assistant Professor of Automobile Engineering Department of Dr. Sudhir Chandrasud Degree Engineering College. Today I am going to discuss about the continuity equation in three-dimensional direction. This will be our lecture number 3 of the second module. Our module name is Hydrodynamics, subject name is Hydraulics and Pneumatics, subject code is HP. Now coming to the lecture outcome, that after having this lecture, students will be able to identify the term discharge, students will be able to state the continuity equation, students will be able to derive the three-dimensional continuity equation, students will be able to derive the different equation of motion. Now coming to the main lecture, that is continuity equation in three dimension. Consider a fluid element of length dx, dy and dz. So here you can see this is the fluid element whose length is dx, dy and dz. Dx is the length in x direction, dy is the length in y direction and dz is the length in z direction. Okay. So consider a fluid element of length dx, dy and dz, where dx is the length of this fluid element in x direction, dy is the length of the fluid element in y direction and dz is the length of the fluid element in z direction. Okay. Now there is a three dimensional means there will be the three coordinates. One will be the x axis, one will be the y axis and other one will be the z axis, and these three axes will be mutually perpendicular to each other. Okay, these three axes will be mutually perpendicular to each other. Okay, now now so let u, v and w are the inlet velocity components in x, y and z direction respectively. So here u, v and w, here you can see u, v and w are the inlet velocity components. Inlet velocity components in x, y and z direction. So in x direction, the inlet velocity component will be u. In y direction, the inlet velocity component will be here v. In z direction, the inlet velocity component will be here w. So u, v, w, these are the three inlet velocity components in x, y and z direction. Okay, and this fluid element has the length dx in x direction, dy in y direction and dz in z direction. Okay, this fluid element now uh, this fluid element now, here is the face a b c d. This is a face a b c d and this is another face e f g h. Okay, so if we consider that the fluid is entering into this element from this space or through this space a b c d. If we consider that the fluid is entering into this element through this space A, B, C, D and fluid is leaving through the face from this element will be E, F, G, H. Okay. So the fluid will be entering into the element through the face A, B, C, D and fluid will leaving this element through the face E, F, G, H. Okay. Clear? Now the mass of fluid entering the face ABCD per second, the mass of fluid entering the face ABCD per second. So it will be here density into volume. Why density into volume? Because density is equals to mass per unit volume. Okay. Density is equals to mass per unit volume. Okay. So density is equals to mass per unit volume. So mass will be here, density into volume. So density will be here rho. Rho is the density of the liquid. Okay, and volume is area into length. Area into length. Now actually we have to calculate the amount of mass of liquid or mass of fluid entering the phase ABCD per second. Mass of fluid entering the phase ABCD per second means here rho into area into length per second. And what is length per second? Length per second means velocity. Length per second means velocity. So rho into area into velocity in x direction. Okay. So mass of fluid entering the phase ABCD per second is here rho into area of the velocity in x direction. So here it will be rho into u into dy into dz. Why dy into dz? Now coming to the actual case. So density is here rho. Now volume is here area into length. Now for the per second, length per second is equals to velocity. So rho into area into velocity in x direction. Now rho is the density, velocity in x direction is u, that I have already mentioned that u is the initial velocity component in x direction. So u, and the area will be here dy and into dz. Area will be here dy into dz. So the total amount of mass of the fluid entering through the phase ABCD per second will be here rho into u into dy into dz. I am again repeating that what is the formula of the mass. From the density we know that density is equals to mass per unit volume. Okay, so mass is equals to density into volume. So that's why we here I am writing that the mass is equals to density into volume, that is rho into volume. Now what is volume? Volume is equals to area into distance. Volume is equals to area into distance. Okay, so rho into area into velocity in x direction. Okay, rho into area into velocity in x direction. Okay, now rho, now area into velocity in x direction. So velocity will be here u, because u is the inlet velocity component in x direction. So rho into u. Okay, now area will be here dy into dz, So total mass of the fluid entering the phase ABCD per second will be here rho into u into dy into dz. Okay. Now again the fluid leaving the phase EFGH per second. The fluid leaving the phase EFGH per second is, that is the rho into u into dy into dz. That is the amount of liquid which is entering. That liquid will be leaving. That liquid is going to leaving through the phase EFGH, and along with this the del x into rho into u into dy into dz into dx. That amount of liquid is also should be should leave through this EFGH phase. Okay, because this is the liquid which is passing. This is the liquid which is passing from the phase ABCD to the phase EFGH. Okay, so this is the amount of liquid, that is del x into rho into u into dy into dz into dx. That is the amount which is passing from the phase ABCD to the phase EFGH. Okay, actually what happened? Actually what happened in this case? Uh, the amount of fluid which is entering here, that is rho into u into dy into dz. Okay. Now the amount of liquid, liquid which is flowing along the x direction from the face ABCD, to the face EFGH. Okay, that amount will be here. Del x into rho into u into dy into dz into dx. Okay. Now the mass gain. So the gain of mass in x direction will be here. Mass leaving through ABCD, mass entering through ABCD minus mass leaving through EFGH. So mass entering through ABCD will be here rho into u into dy into dz minus rho into u into dy into dz minus del x rho into u into dy into dz into dx. That is the total mass leaving through the EFGH. Okay. So now it will be here minus del x. So if we solve this, then we will get minus del x into rho into u into dy into dz into dx. That is the amount of mass gain in the x direction. Actually, what happened if you consider the river, in case of the river, the water is entering into this river. Water is entering into this river will be maximum, and the water is leaving through the river will be minimum. So that's why there will be the some amount of mass will be gained. That is the amount of mass of liquid which is gained in x direction. Similarly, the net gain of mass in y direction will be here minus del y into rho into v into dx into dz into dy. Okay. Again, similarly, the net gain of mass in z direction will be here minus del z into rho into w into dx into dy into dz. So total gain of masses in this element, that will be here. If we take the common minus here, then we will get del x into rho into u into dy into dz into dx plus del y rho into v into dx into dy into dz plus del z rho into w into dx into dy into dz. That is the total gaining of the mass on this element. Okay. Now it will become, now if we take the common dx, dy and dz from this, then it will become minus within the third bracket del x rho u plus del y rho v plus del z rho w into dx dy into dz. Okay. So this will be our equation number 1. Now the net increase of mass per unit time must be equal to the rate of increase of mass of fluid. Yet the mass per unit time, the rate of increase of mass of liquid flowing per second, or the mass of liquid per second, that should be equals to the rate of increase of mass of fluid, in the element. So mass of fluid will be here m. So m will be here rho into v. So here it will be rho into dx into dy into dz, because in this element the rate of increase of mass per unit time, that should be equals to rate of increase of mass of fluid in the element. Now rate of increase of mass of the fluid per second or per unit time will be here del t into rho into dx into dy into dz, because this is the total mass of the liquid, and here we are going to determine the rate of increase of the mass per second, mass of fluid per second. That will be here del t into rho into dx into dy into dz. So del rho by del t into dx or dy into dz, that will be our equation number 2. Okay, and this is our total rate of increase of fluid in the element. Okay, so if we equate these two equation, then we will get that minus del x rho into u plus del y rho into b plus del z rho into w into dx dy into dz is equals to del rho by del t into dx into dy into dz. So dx dy dz will be cancel out. So it will become now del rho by del t. If we shift this term into the opposite sign of the equal sign, then we will get del x into rho u plus del y into rho b plus del z into rho w is equal to 0. This is the continuity equation in 3 dimensions. This equation represents the total continuity equation in 3 dimensional, whereas the continuity equation is based on the conservation of principle of conservation of mass. Continuity equation is based on the principle of conservation of mass. Okay, now coming to the equation of motion. Equation of motion, according to the second law of motion, the net force Fx acting on a fluid element in the direction of x is equal to mass m. According to the second law of motion, the net force Fx acting on a fluid element in the direction of x is equals to mass m of the fluid element, which will be multiplied by the acceleration x in the direction of x. Actually, we know that the force is equals to mass into acceleration. Force is equals to mass into acceleration. So according to the second law of motion, the net force Fx, which is acting into the x direction on the fluid element, which will be equals to the mass m of the fluid element, and that will be multiplied by the acceleration x in the direction of x. So Fx is equals to m into x. Fx is equals to m into x. Okay. Now in the fluid flow, the following forces are present. Okay. So in case of the fluid flow, these are the following forces are present. These are Fg is the gravitational force. Fg means the gravitational force. So in case of the fluid flow, these are the forces which are present. That is gravitational force. Fp is the pressure force. Fb is the force due to viscosity. Ft is the force due to turbulence. Fc is the force due to compressibility. Okay, so these are the force which will be present in the fluid flow. Okay, so again I am repeating that these are the force which are present in the fluid flow. These are gravitational force or gravity force. Fp is the pressure force. Fb is the force due to viscosity. Ft is the force due to turbulence, and Fc is the force due to compressibility. Okay, Fc is the force due to compressibility. So in fluid flow, these are the following forces will be remain present in the fluid. Okay. Now, so total force will be x direction, that can be equals to here Fx is equals to Fgx, that is gravitational force, Fpx, that is pressure force, plus Fbx, that is viscous force, Ftx, that is turbulence force, Fcx, that is compressibility force. Okay, or force due to compressibility. So the total force in the x direction will be Fx is equals to will be here Fgx plus Fpx plus Fbx plus Ftx plus Fcx. Okay, these are the total forces which are acting onto the fluid flow. Okay, when the fluid is flowing into the particular direction. Now the force due to compressibility is negligible. then the resulting force will be here Fx is equals to Fgx plus Fpx plus Fbx plus Ftx. If we neglect the force due to compressibility from this equation, if we neglect the force due to if we neglect the force due to compressibility from this equation, then the remaining equation will become Fx is equals to Fgx plus Fpx plus Fbx plus Ftx. Okay, and this equation of motion will be known as Reynolds equation of motion. This equation of motion will be known as Reynolds equation of motion. So within these five forces during the fluid flow, if we neglect the force due to compressibility, then this equation will become here Fx is equals to Fgx plus Fpx plus Fbx plus Ftx, and this equation will be known as the motion of this equation of motion will be known as Reynolds equation of motion. This equation will be known as the Reynolds equation of motion. So here you can see this equation will be known as the Reynolds equation of motion. Now coming to the next, that for the flow where the Ft is negligible, Ft means the force due to turbulence is negligible. The force due to turbulence is negligible, then the resulting equation of motion will be here will be become the equation will become Fx is equals to Fgx plus Fpx plus Fbx, and this equation will be known as this equation of motion will be known as Navier-Stokes equation, and this equation will known as Navier-Stokes equation. Okay, this equation will be known as Navier-Stokes equation. Now again, if the flow is assumed to be ideal, if the flow is assumed to be ideal, then the viscous flow or the force due to viscosity will be zero, and the equation of motion are known as Euler's equation of motion, and the equation of motion will be known as Euler's equation of motion, and here the equation will become Fx is equals to Fgx plus Fpx. Okay, so in this way the different equation of motion can be get by neglecting the one by one forces. Okay, so here I am going to end my lecture. Thank you. Thanks for listening my lecture. Thank you.